thought that I would just do a video using some new things that I've gotten lately, because I've gotten a lot of new things, and quite honestly, I just haven't done a haul. I've forgotten what I've gotten. Like, I haven't kept up with it that well, so I thought what I would do is just do a get ready with me and talk through it and show you all the new things, because I'm looking at it and honestly all but like 2 things that I'm going to use today are new to me. Some of which, 3, 4 of the things I haven't used at all. So it's going to be kind of a first impression for those. And the rest of them I've been using for a little bit, so I'll be able to give you small reviews on them. So no intro today. That's your intro. I'm just going to hop right in and start getting ready so that this isn't a million years long. I have already done my brows. I have not primed my eyes though, which I normally do before I get on camera. So I'm going to do that real quick with my Bare Minerals 5-in-1. The eyeshadow palette I'm using today is one of the ones that I have not tried yet, and it's the Persona Identity palette, and this is from Sona Gasparian, I think it is. I don't know. She's on YouTube. She has a blog, and I saw swatches of this online, and I was like, yeah, I like those colors. So I got it. It's pretty reasonably priced too. So I'm going to set my primer with this color right here called Humble. It's kind of like a light peachy pink color. It's not near as white as I usually set my primer with, but that's okay. It'll work. I should have a blog post about this up. I took pictures and did swatches and stuff yesterday, so I'm hoping to have that up before this video. So be sure and check out my blog if you want to see swatches of it. When I have a new palette, I don't ever like go in full force with a dramatic look until I know how the palette's going to perform. So I'm just going to do something pretty simple today. I'm going to take this color called Charming right here. It's not near as light. I think that's the only thing I'm not loving about this palette so far as the colors, is that it doesn't really have like a light transition color. So this is a little bit darker than I like to go, but maybe it'll be buildable. There's quite a bit of kick up with these shadows, but that's the price you have to pay for pigment. It's a pretty color. I seem to be able to manipulate it enough to where it's not too dark right off the bat. Then I'm going to go in with, the darkest color in the palette, which is right here, called Fearless. It's just a nice dark brown. And I'm going to put that on my outer V before I put anything on my lid. I'm not going to use a base today on my lid, which I know you're probably like, what? I just want to kind of see the pigmentation on its own. Whoa. That one's really pigmented. Holy cow. So much for no drama. I mean, that's almost like a black. It's pretty though. It's not as like intense as a black, but it's definitely a nice substitute. So I'm not mad that this palette doesn't have a black, since this one is so dark. They're blending very easily. All right, now I'm going to go in with my lid color, and I think I'm going to use this really pretty one right here called Seductive. It's almost like a little rose gold, but then it's got a little bit of taupiness to it too. I'm going to take my Sedona lace brush. Surprise, surprise. This palette does have a mirror in it as well. I'm just going to place that on the lid. It's a really pretty color. I just am so used to wearing a base to where I don't have to layer the colors so much, but it does have pretty nice pigmentation right off the bat. So I assume that if I were to wear a base under this, it would really pop. So that's a really pretty color. And I'm just going to take a little bit more of that initial brown color and kind of blend out the crease. And that's all she wrote for the eyes. Pretty impressed with the palette, honestly. It's easy to work with and very blendable. Nice pigmentation too, especially on that really dark brown. I'm not going to do an eyeliner because, I mean, I just rarely do eyeliner. I don't know. I feel like it just doesn't look as good on me personally. So it has about the normal amount of fallout. That's normally what's on my wipe. And because I am so type A about my sunscreen, since I did just wipe off my face, I'm going to add a little bit more sunscreen right up here. I'm crazy like that when it comes to sunscreen. All right, so the new primer that I am trying out for you, and I've been using this a while, is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. This is the purple one that they just came out with. I don't know. I'm sure you've seen it because it was sent to a ton of different people. I bought mine, but I just haven't figured out if it really does anything. I mean, y'all tell me. Got some muddy eyeshadow over there I'm gonna have to fix later. Tell me if you can tell my skin's any different after I put this on, because some YouTubers are like, oh my goodness, it wakes your face up, makes it look so much better. And I mean, I feel like it's okay. I don't really know if it helps in the longevity of my makeup. It is a little sticky, but I find that the backlight priming filter, the real shimmery glowy one, is more sticky than this. So I don't know. Oh, I say I'm going to buy a new mirror in every single video that I use it, and I just don't. So I'm going to color correct. I'm using this Sephora Bright Future Gel Corrector, and this is not new, so I'm just going to speed through this. Okay, my foundation is new. It is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydro Tint, which I feel like everybody's talking about, so I thought that I would just do it in this video versus like a whole review, because I feel like probably every other person on YouTube has done a review on this already. If you still want one, I'd be happy to do it, but I feel like it's just so saturated with reviews. And I got two colors because really the selection's not the best. I'm mixing Nude and Honey together because I just couldn't find one that would match me today, or not today, but at this point of the year. I imagine Honey, the shade that I'm putting on right now, will work really well in the summer on its own. So it does have that big doe foot like the Clinique 2-in-1, which I'm going to say it again. Some people have really slammed the packaging, saying it's so unsanitary, and you know, one person said they didn't like it because of that, and it just would take so much longer to use because they'd have to put it out on a palette. And I'm like, but I've seen you do makeup before, and you don't put your concealer out on a palette before you use it. So really, what's the difference? I don't know, because the concealer is a big wand touching your face just like that is. All right. I have used this a few times, and honestly, I feel like it applies better with a brush for me, because it is, I don't know, I feel like it does have so much hydration in it that the Beauty Blender kind of just soaks it up. So I like to use a brush. This is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. Thoughts on this foundation are that I love it. Love, love, love it. I feel like I'm in college again when I wear it, which sounds so stupid, but honestly, I feel like that's the way it makes my face look. It's so, like, a friend of mine texted me because she tried it before me, and her explanation was that it just makes you look fresh, which I think is spot on, because it really does. Just makes you look fresh. So I have no streak marks from that brush. I don't know why I like it better with a brush, but I do. All right, this concealer I'm kind of not sure about. This is the Physicians Formula Insta Ready Full Coverage Concealer. First of all, I hate the packaging, like, with a passion. It's so, you have to push so hard to get it out of this pump. It's very reminiscent of the MAC Pro Longwear in packaging, to where it pumps out way too much. This, I was actually able to only get half a pump. That's a half a pump. I mean, you could honestly use it as your foundation mixed with a moisturizer if you did a full pump. It pumps out way too much. I don't know. I wasn't crazy about it the first couple times that I used it. And it's not cheap. I mean, Physicians Formula is one of the more expensive lines at the drugstore. So it wasn't, I mean, it was like 15 bucks. So I don't know. I'm going to try it again today. Maybe it was just my under eye day. I've been trying some eye creams that I haven't loved for the morning time, but then it's hard to determine, okay, is it my eye cream that I don't love? Is it the concealer I don't love? Or is it the powder I'm setting it with that I don't love? Because all have been new. So it's been very like a science experiment trying to figure out what's good and what's bad. So as you can see, it's super full coverage. I got the color Light. It's a little light on me just because I'm not really into the highlighting anymore. So I got a new cream bronzer. This is another thing that I have not tried yet. This is the RMS Buriti Bronzer. So it comes in the, I mean, standard RMS packaging. Really tiny. $28, $30. That kind of hurt, but I've been wanting to try this forever. So I'm going to take I am going to scoop this out in case I want to use it in my kit. I swatched it and I was kind of like, that's really dark. So let me buff that out before I go any further so I don't totally ruin my makeup. Okay, well that buffed out super easy. I can't really tell if I see a difference. maybe a slight difference. This does have a little bit of a sheen to it as well, which I don't know why I thought maybe it would be matte, but it's not. It has a it's a natural sheen, but it's a sheen. I've been using Rogaine for women, side note, and I'm starting to grow all these little baby hairs over here, but it makes it really hard to buff in cream bronzers because they get stuck in those hairs and then it just looks muddy. The sacrifices we make to grow hair. Okay, so it's actually pretty. It has almost like a red undertone, which leans itself to look more natural and tan. And I kind of like that. Good. Didn't want to waste $30, and I don't think I did. I knew there's a reason it has wonderful reviews. All right, I'm going to go back to set my under eyes, and I can't decide on this or not. This is new. It's the Bobbi Brown Pale Yellow Powder. And a lot of people say that they set their under eyes with this, and I've done it a couple times, and it was one of those couple of times where I was like, okay, well, is it my concealer, my eye cream, or my powder? I don't know if it's too cakey. When I first used it, I loved it. Okay, see, I like it now. Maybe I was just having a really bad under eye day. I think it was one of my peeling days, and even though I don't put my retinol anywhere near my eyes, it still travels up there and I peel under my eyes. You need very, very, very little of this. That might have been another issue why I felt like it looked so cakey, was because I may have applied too much. But I like the way it looks now. It does set nicely. I don't know that I like it any more than my NARS Crystal Powder or my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, but it's another option. Okay, so now I'm going to set my whole face. Side note on this, I also bought the Becca Soft Light Blurring Powder. It is in the box because I am sending this one back. It's the only thing out of a very large Ulta haul that I think I'm going to send back. It's just too glowy on me. It looks nice for like the first 2 hours, and then it's like I look oily. I don't look like luminous. I look oily, and it does oxidize just a bit on me. It makes kind of things look a little orange. So I'm going to send that back. It's just not worth it. It's really pretty packaging, but it's not worth it. So I'm going to use a new powder that I got in Moso Schwa box this month, and it's the Givenchy Premier Loose Powder. I've used it a couple times. I'm just going to tap it into my hand. It's just a normal white powder. So like I said, I've used it a couple times. I don't think I like it. Ooh, it just got bright outside. I have to close that window. I don't think I like it as much as the Chanel loose powder, which I still have to get to Nordstrom and get because that was smart. I just went like this and it just went everywhere. Okay. I love the Chanel powder. So I don't think I like it as much as that, but it's nice. That's why I love this subscription box so much. Okay, this is a super winner for me. Again, something from Bobbi Brown. I can't believe I've never tried a Bobbi Brown bronzer before. I got online and I didn't know which color to get because, I extensively review things or look at reviews on things if they're not brand new before I buy them. And a lot of people were saying that Golden Light was too light on them. And too light and too orange, and I didn't really want that. And I've also heard that it's very comparable to the Matte Gimme Sun, which I already have. And I'm like, if I'm going to spend money on a new bronzer, I want it to be a little bit different. So I got on Bobbi Brown's website and I clicked to chat with one of their beauty advisors, which I'd never done before, but side note, she was very helpful. So I highly recommend it. And I just asked her, what color bronzer do I need? Because the swatches and stuff online and even the pictures on the Bobbi Brown website weren't really doing anything for me. She asked me to send her a picture, so I did. And I explained my coloring to her, and she suggested that I get Stone Street, which is the color that I got, and I love it. I love it. It's the smoothest bronzing powder, and there is absolutely no kick up. I don't think I have a bronzer that does not, it's like powder doesn't even form on the surface when I put a brush down in it. It's almost like it's a gel formula that serves as a powder. I don't know. It's so smooth. It's almost like you can't overdo it. I do think this is a good color for me. And I'm applying it with my Real Techniques, I don't know why I can't say that. My Real Techniques Duo Fiber Brush. So I don't know. I'm really loving that bronzer. All right, blush. I've gotten a couple new ones. One was from Bobbi Brown. But I think I'm going to use this one. This is the Balm Beach blush from the Balm, and it's just a really pretty nude pinky peach color. I got an email from Kohl's saying that I had some rewards cash that was about to expire. So I'm like, hold up. So I went and got this blush and paid like $3 for it. So I like it. It just kind of blends into what you've already put on your face. I do even bring it up onto my temples. It's a nice matte blush. And I like stuff from the Balm. You don't ever realize how pale you are until you put your arm up and you look at the inside of it. That will tell you how much you have not been in the sun. And I'm not a huge hot weather person, but I'm kind of ready for summer. If for nothing else than to get a little bit of sun. All right. So I love that blush. I'm not going to do my Hourglass powder today because I feel like this foundation and stuff is already luminous enough, and I don't feel like I have any harsh lines that I need to buff out, so I'm just going to skip that today. And now I'm going to, this isn't like brand new to me, but I don't think I've mentioned it on my channel. It's the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Precious Petals, which I know was limited edition, and now it is permanent. So I did not get it when it was limited edition, but when it became permanent, there goes my sun again. I decided to snatch it up, and I really like it, especially for the price point. Just gives a nice little glow. All right, I'm going to go back into the Persona palette, and I guess I'm going to take this Fearless, the dark brown, and put it under my eyes. I mean, the more I look at my under eyes, I'm not digging that concealer. I know some people have given it like super good reviews. Look at me saying I'm not going dramatic. Isn't that how it always works? I know it's gotten like some really good reviews from people, but it ages my aging under eyes. I'm not a fan. I have tried it with powders that I love, so I don't think it's that powder. All right, I'm going to mix this Humble and Charming shade to buff that out because, I mean, we're going full on smoky today apparently. Oh, my under eyes look like crap. Well, there's my review on that concealer. I don't like it. Okay, what am I doing next? Oh, I got a new eyeliner from Influencer. They sent me 2 of the new Marc Jacobs matte highliner pencils, which I was kind of confused about that because I felt like the ones I already had were matte. They sent me one called Brownie, which was very similar to Costa Riche. It was like a red undertoned brown. And then this one's called Earthquake, and it's just a plain dark brown. But holy cow, that is so smooth on my waterline. Way even smoother than my other highliner pencils, which y'all know if you've watched me at all, I really do genuinely love those pencils. So don't you love this? I'm like full on smoky eye, and all I have to do is go get Botox today. Oh, they're gonna be like, whoa, what have you got planned tonight? All right, so yay on the eyeliners. Wonderful. Didn't really think they wouldn't be. I mean, it's Marc Jacobs, and I love his eyeliners. So I'm just curling my lashes real quick with my Kevyn Aucoin lash curler, and I have a new mascara to try, but I'm going to do my bottom lashes and put my primer on real quick. Okay, so the new mascara I'm going to try is by Catrice, and it's called the Glam and Doll False Lashes Mascara. It comes in this cute purple packaging. Blackest False Lashes is what it says. I have not even opened this. So it has just a curved wand. It does have plastic bristles, which are not my favorite, so we'll see. But I heard, who was it that I heard? Someone on YouTube talking about this, how it was the best, better than any high-end mascara she's ever tried. She uses a lash serum too. I think it was Young, Wild, and Polished. She uses the lash serum too, so she has pretty naturally long lashes, but she said they just really enhanced what she already has. That's all right. Let me try the other side and then I'll come back. All right, so the mascara is okay. I feel like it's more lengthening than it is volumizing, and it separates the lashes really well, but other than that, I don't see anything too special about it, so it's definitely not like becoming my favorite. Now, real quick, because my card is about to be full, I got the new Charlotte Tilbury Valentine stick and love it, but it's downstairs and I have people working at my house right now, so I'm not going to go down there, but This I just bought kind of, not a backup because I was completely out, but it's Cream Cut by MAC, and it reminds me a lot of Valentine. And there's the sun again. Can't win. So the only last thing I'm going to do is the Sephora Beauty Amplifier, which you can't even see because that sun spray. I have not tried it yet. Y'all know how I am about my sprays lately, so it's the first time trying that. So real quick, a recap. My favorite things out of all these new things are definitely the foundation, bronzer, and I also really enjoy this Persona palette. So those are my favorite things. My least favorite things are the powder that I talked about that I'm going to return and the Physicians Formula concealer. Just don't like it. I've tried it with different amounts too, like different amounts of concealer to see if that would help, and it doesn't really make a difference. So my two least favorite things, and the other things, I mean, I just like. So hopefully you enjoyed this. I thought it was kind of fun just chatting with y'all. I don't know how long it's going to be because my little timer is not on right now, but I have a feeling it's going to be a long one. So I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure and stay tuned because I'm hoping, I don't know, maybe the Shiseido is not coming next. I don't know. I'm doing a lot of traveling in the next few weeks, so I'm pre-recording a lot of these videos. But hopefully that will be up very soon. Thanks so much for watching. I love y'all so much. Be sure and like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope you all have a very blessed day.